So hey guys, welcome to my review of Aquaman issue number 10. In the last issue of Aquaman, we are introduced to another team member from the Others group that Aquaman used to work with back in the days. And he was the prisoner, and basically we learn about a little bit of, of his backstory, and we learn about his Atlantean relic, and Black Manta is pursuing him at the time. And then we also learn about Aquaman's backstory from Professor Shin when Mira asks him more about what's going on between Black Manta and Aquaman. And then by the end of the issue, we actually see Aquaman confront Black Manta. And that's where generally this issue picks up. But this time, yet again, like what happened in the last issue, we open up with another member from the Others group. And this time, he is the operative. And we learn that he's trying to, gather or try to steal information from Black Manta's headquarters. But then he's actually attacked or ambushed by a whole bunch of Black Manta's minions or goons. And he fights them off. He gets away with a small nick or maybe a bullet wound, and he escapes. And then he says, we gotta go to, catch up with Aquaman, or go to Aquaman's location. Now, we do know who this person is. His identity is revealed, but it's a big shocker that I don't want to reveal to you guys. So, yeah, it's up to you guys to pick up the issue to find out who the operative is. And then later on throughout the issue, yet again, we still see more backstory flow out of Professor Shin as he tells Mira more about the battle between Black Manta and Aquaman back in the day. And then Professor Shin brings up a good sort of storyline driven thing here. He actually, questions Mira, like, do you know who Aquaman is? Because Aquaman isn't the man you think he is to be. And, that brings up a question for both Mira and sort of for the readers. But yeah, so later on we learn more about the quarrel between Aquaman and Black Manta, which I won't spoil for you guys. It's really interesting, and I highly suggest you guys pick this issue up just to read that. And then basically we see the prisoner actually meeting up with Yawar, and they actually try to go stop Aquaman before he actually kills Black Manta, so they can actually get information from him about why he's trying to take out all the Atlantean relics and using it for some sort of reason. And also, by the end of this issue, we see Aquaman still fighting Black Manta, but we see something interesting that Black Manta does, but I don't want to spoil for you guys. But yeah, it's interesting. We actually get to see Yawar's relic in use. We learn about what abilities that necklace she carries around, what kind of abilities it has, or what it does for Yawar, and it's really interesting. So yeah, my thoughts on this issue. Now, generally speaking, throughout this issue or throughout this series or story arc right now, we are learning a lot about, the Others, the group Aquaman used to be with. We learn more about Aquaman, which this issue or this series doesn't shy away from. It still gives us backstory, which is really good because, mostly when comic books, come out and they introduce new characters or new storylines, we generally have a lot of questions. And this series does a good job of answering those questions for us. I mean, they're not giving us like so much information that we know a lot about these characters, but they're giving us enough that we are going to cling on to this issue and just want to learn more. And that's great. I love how this issue does give backstory or background information about Aquaman, the Others, especially for Aquaman, because throughout the series we known Aquaman as sort of a cool and awesome character now. After Jeff Johns been writing Aquaman, I think Aquaman's pretty awesome. He's pretty cool because of all the jokes people have always been making about Aquaman, how he sucks and whatnot. He's like the worst superhero and yada yada. But it's really interesting that, he brings Aquaman into a more awesome character. And now the fact that Shin actually questions Mira, do you know Aquaman at all? Because he's not the guy you think he is up to be, And it's really interesting because it brings up a question for us as well, because as we've seen Aquaman throughout this issue, we've seen him as sort of a tormented soul, that humans make fun of him, that even his own people, the Atlanteans, won't accept him. We see him as a tortured soul, but then later on, when Professor Shin asks, Mira that question, do you know him at all? Or he's not maybe the man you think he is. But that actually brings up a good question. Maybe there is something about Aquaman that doesn't make him seem so awesome. That maybe there's something even more tragic in his life that sort of changed him in a way. A character or who knows, as a person, you know, because we've seen Aquaman, he doesn't side with the Atlanteans and he doesn't side with the humans. He's basically sort of neutral, you know? And maybe before, in the past, he maybe was a dick, or maybe he was just really hated towards humans and Atlanteans both at the same time, because right now he's neutral. But we don't know about his full past. But it's really interesting how they're doing that. And also I like Operative's character design, making it seem like he looks like a special ops kind of character, and he sort of reminds me of a Splinter Cell kind of costume, you know, with the whole full-faced mask and full body suit, and he looks like he's all stealthy and stuff like Metal Gear or whatever Splinter Cell, if you want to say that as well. But yes, this issue is really generally great. I would suggest you guys keep picking this issue up. There's so much mystery behind Aquaman, the others, Black Manta, who we all know is a big rival of, you know, Aquaman, and we still haven't seen, you know, one character, King Orm, which I'm, you know, gonna be excited to see once he appears in this series. But right now we're focusing on Black Manta, and this is really interesting. I really love this series. It's really awesome. I highly suggest you guys pick this issue up, or keep picking up the series up in general, because it's doing really great. I love the background information. And I love Aquaman as a character himself, as how Jeff Johns probably, you know, portraying him. And yeah, that's what I like about this issue. And I would actually rate this issue a 4.5 out of a 5. So that's my review of Aquaman issue number 10. And hopefully you guys found this review interesting and helpful, and hope you guys, you know, like it. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. See ya.